All right, and we're live. How's everyone doing? We get a quick audio and visual check as usual. You guys are active in the comments today. Thank you all for tuning in. We've had a little bit of interesting price development with a few interesting price developments with Bitcoin, something that I'm very, very happy with. You guys have seen over the past couple of days, I've gradually shifted more and more to the bullish perspective, right? I've been getting happier and happier with the trend. I think it's been doing healthy things. And today it's done something as well, which is very healthy. I'm going to be breaking that down for you in just a minute. Everything's good. Thank you very much. Thank you all very much once again for tuning in early to this live stream. Those of you who were waiting, unfortunately, I made a mistake and I said that this live stream was going to be live 50 minutes ago by accident. Telegram users will know the true time of this live stream. So thank you all very much. Let's smash up those likes as we're coming in here today. And we see, the thing is, Bitcoin has been in this downtrend for a while, and we're showing ourselves a lot of signs to be breaking up. We're right on the brink of that right now, and you guys already know I've been saying for a long time, if we manage to rise above that $42,000 level into this circle, this is where things will be getting very exciting, in my opinion, if Bitcoin is able to rise above this level right here. Now, this is the point to beat, and unfortunately, if we do lose it, I would be looking at actually targeting levels like 30K or potentially lower. This is really the make or break situation that I'm seeing for Bitcoin right here. This is literally where we could do something absolutely amazing and trend all the way up to 65,000. We could be looking at, one of the biggest Bitcoin pumps, potentially even today, because we have a setup for that, and I'm going to get to that in just a minute. We have potentially even a setup for that to happen today, but definitely a setup for us to, rise all the way up to levels like perhaps $55,000, $65,000, and more. So that is very, very cool. Bear with me 1 second while I pull something out. I'm just seeing, I think that we might have some technical issues again today. It seems like not many people are actually in this stream. If you guys can hear me well, then and see me okay with everything, then please do let me know. I'm just going to wait for some comments to come in while I try and make sure everything's good on my side. Everything looks fine for me. But obviously I would like to double, triple check. Yeah, I think we're all good. Yeah. Okay, cool. All good. Perfect. Thank you. So what Bitcoin did today, which was very interesting to me, was it actually ended up trading sideways a little bit, right? If we take a look at this and we look at Bitcoin zoomed in a little bit, Bitcoin has started to trade sideways right underneath $42,000. Perfect. Thank you for your comments. Bitcoin has started trading sideways a little bit under this resistance level, and that's what's really exciting to me. There is this resistance at 42,000. We peaked at 41,000 yesterday, and just literally like 10 minutes before the live stream started, we were up here at 41,400. So this is very cool as well. We just started to get this pump. And what I'm liking about this right here, ladies and gents, is that while Bitcoin has a ceiling that it needs to break over here, we're hitting the ceiling and we're not really getting a big rejection, right? We're just kind of trading sideways underneath this resistance level. We've seen this happening a lot before, and I'm going to break down for you why that was so important in the past. But for now, this is a good sign, right? We're not expecting this to be easy resistance. I've been saying that this is strong resistance for a long time. And so to see that we're getting rejections, but then staying here and actually continuously putting up this fight, this is great. This is like, you've got a weak kid here fighting against a bully. The bully keeps on sending the kid back down, but the kid, he just keeps getting back up and getting ready to fight again. So eventually, he might win. He might win eventually, and that's absolutely what I think is quite exciting. Now, one person in the comments mentioning that you didn't receive a notification for this live stream. YouTube's very inconsistent with that, but you will definitely receive notifications if you're inside our free Telegram channel. So definitely make sure that you do that. To make sure that you don't miss out on this content moving forward. It's the only way that you can guarantee that you get all the updates for this. But anyway, let's take it right back to the chart. This right here, I think, is a huge, huge deal. Just the fact that we're consolidating under resistance right here, I think makes us more and more likely to break higher. The alternatives that I was talking about yesterday was actually that Bitcoin might end up retracing down to a level like perhaps 36, 37, 30, I'm sorry, 36, 34,000, sorry, 36, $35,000. I'm getting my thousands mixed up right here. that we would end up retracing down to this kind of level, then hopefully getting a bounce back up. That would still be great. I would be very happy if we did something like that. Unfortunately, it looks less likely for that to happen now. The reason that's unfortunate is I would have liked to see another retracement. I think it would have been very healthy. I certainly would have loved to go long at that kind of level, and I already said yesterday that I would actually consider doing something like that, but right now just the fact that we are consolidating at resistance to me means that we might not get that chance. This thing actually looks like it's fairly likely to start breaking up now, purely because we are in the situation where we're just literally consolidating under resistance. And to give you an example of where we did this in the past, if I zoom out a little bit, we were doing this pretty much right in this uptrend right here, right? So let me show you what happened at this all-time high right here. Bitcoin set an all-time high up here at $62,000. Then we got rejected from this level again, then we got rejected from this level again. Fast forward, we then traded sideways at this range. This was actually an example where we ended up getting a rejection, but then the next time that Bitcoin traded sideways inside of this resistance level, it was actually the time that Bitcoin managed to get that pump up, right? So this is huge. This is a big thing that you have to pay attention to. We were literally trading inside the resistance area. We did get a rejection, but then we bounced right back up, and we were just trading sideways in this range. We kept on trying to basically punch that ceiling, trying to break that ceiling. We kept trying to punch it, and then eventually it worked, and we got our breakout, right? And from the bottom of this rally all the way up to the top, it turned out to be an 8% rally, which is significant. It's not huge considering it was a new all-time high, but it's still significant. And the most important thing is it's not the only time Bitcoin has done stuff like this. This is actually super common. I think the best example of this, and actually one of the examples where I was most vocal about this in this market, was right here in the $20,000 range, ladies and gents. This is where I was talking to you guys about this, where, and by the way, if you've been watching the channel since back here, you would have remembered this very well, because I was, like I said, super vocal about this, basically saying that this $20,000 level with this blue box right here acted as resistance for Bitcoin in the past. You know, obviously I don't need to tell you about this. Bitcoin got rejected at $20,000 a long time ago, and that's where we had all-time high resistance on this market, in this market, for a long time. Now, what's impressive about this was that Bitcoin started trading sideways over here. We did get a small rejection. Doesn't matter because we recovered up very quickly, and then we were just kind of trading sideways in this box, right? And this was quite a big sideways range. Don't get me wrong. This goes all the way from 17,500 all the way up to 19, pretty much $20,000. So that's like a $2,500 range. That's pretty big. But in terms of percent, we're only looking at, I don't know, about 15%, right? So yeah, about 13-14% in terms of a percentage range. This isn't a huge range in terms of percent, especially considering it's just below an all-time high. And so we're basically getting this consolidation right underneath the yellow line, which is resistance, and it's exactly this consolidation below the all-time high which is what enables us to break the ceiling. Really, this is the same thing that I've been talking about a lot on this channel, where the more we end up talking about, the more we end up kind of hitting these resistance levels, the more likely we typically are to start breaking them as well, and that is definitely what starts being very exciting in these markets. Now, I'm mentioning that I'm seeing that a lot of you guys might be a little bit late to this live stream, and the reason for that was the live stream was not posted correctly. To avoid these kind of issues, you can join our free Telegram channel right here to get the notifications for whenever we're going live, and that way you'll never miss it. You'll always be on time. If you're tuning in late, then please rewind the live stream, because the beginning is always the most important part, and don't skip the beginning as well, because I was talking about quite important things throughout. But anyway, bringing it back to the chart here, this is obviously very important to be able to keep in mind that these areas were resistance, and then we just kind of traded sideways and broke it, because we're doing something similar right now on a smaller time frame, right? I was talking about this back here. I was saying that we're probably going to get a blue sky breakout above 20k because we're consolidating right underneath resistance, and then I traded it the next time we did exactly that. We found resistance at 24. We then traded sideways here. I traded this all the way up to $28,000. That turned into something like a 300, nearly 400% profit. Super impressive. Of course, all VIP members saw how I was trading that, and the steps to join VIP are on screen if you'd like to join that. We've been making money on the way up, and of course making money on the way down. Probably more exciting to make money on the way down, to be honest, but still both are fine nonetheless. And the point is, we're doing the same thing right now. You know, depending on how you look at it, we might even be in a little bit of a bull flag. Doesn't really matter. We're basically just trading sideways. We're testing the highs. This is fine. We actually, like I said, just recently literally before the live stream, tested this 41,000 level, and we did get a rejection, but this rejection has not taken us very low. We're still trading in this same sideways range that we entered a little while back. We haven't gotten a massive rejection downwards. We might, it doesn't mean that we won't get one, but we haven't gotten one yet, and the point is that Bitcoin is able to hold this level fairly well. Even if we lose it, we have a fair bit of support below us, so I wouldn't be too worried about it. And right now, I think that we could be looking to basically consolidate under this high right here before we potentially start to punch it further and break higher. So that is obviously very exciting. Let's take a look at what our indicators are saying. I haven't actually seen this today. The 1 hour Ichimoku cloud has given us beautiful support right here. I pointed this out earlier. Those of you who are subscribed won't have missed this. This was obviously fairly important, but also not something that I look at too much on the 1 hour time frame. Although this is showing us that there is some resistance, some support at the $38,000 level, and that would make a little bit of sense. This has historically been an important level in the market. Take a look at this. It lines up fairly well with one of my lines that I've had on this chart for a little bit. I don't need this $40,000 line, but this line has been here for a little bit, and it does line up quite well with the Ichimoku cloud, so that is absolutely great. I'd also like to see where some of the moving averages are, and yeah, on the 1 hour moving averages, we're getting some momentum support right here, basically showing us that right now in this short-term uptrend, this trend might be ready to get another bounce relatively soon, and that's why the title literally talks about the possibility of a huge Bitcoin pump possibly even coming today, because we are getting this consolidation. We have had that long-term correction. If we were gonna break up, the potential for breaking up today is fairly high in my opinion. That's not to say we will break up. We'd still have resistance here, so we're still most likely to get a rejection, obviously. But I think that the chances of breaking up now are actually fairly strong. They're stronger than they have been, obviously, at any point before, naturally, because we're trading at the high, and the momentum also supports that idea. Switch it on to the 4 hour time frame, and as I was talking about quite a bit, we were discussing this inside of our inside of our Forkslides VIP Telegram channel as well. We do have an Ichimoku cloud right here from the 4 hour time frame starting to open up and offer us some support. So if we do take a little bit longer to punch above this level, as long as we do this by within June, I think we're still going to have a nice little bit of support. The support is going to continue to expand as well, hopefully, and so that is obviously quite exciting. If we take a look at how this is translating over to other markets, Ethereum has been moving in similar ways, but still, as always, pretty much at the mercy of Bitcoin, in my opinion. The issue with Ethereum really is that it actually does have a fair bit more resistance right here, in my opinion. It's got a fair bit of resistance between 2600 and 2800, and actually I would be serving you guys better if I drew this as a box instead of a squiggly line. This area, I think, definitely acting as some resistance, but again, it's doing the same thing. It's basically just consolidating under this level before potentially blowing off. And obviously, the thing with Ethereum here is much more exciting than Bitcoin, in my opinion, because this thing could rally really, really hard if Bitcoin ends up breaking out. And obviously, that is very exciting to me. Ethereum rallying up here would be, I think, much more interesting than Bitcoin, purely because it's dropped by quite a bit. I think it's dropped more than Bitcoin. Let me calculate this from the all-time high down to the low, down to our current price. Actually, it's performed roughly similar to Bitcoin, but the thing that's much more impressive than Bitcoin is that because it didn't hold the high for as long as Bitcoin, right? Ethereum was trading at this all-time high level for only a matter of from the 9th of May to the 15th of May. I mean, we're talking like less than a week, maybe just around 1 week that Ethereum was trading at that kind of high area. Bitcoin, on the other hand, managed to trade in those levels for, I think something like a month. Let's calculate that real quick, because I am just genuinely curious. For the most part, yeah, I mean, look at that, 82 days, my bad, not a month, nearly 3 months, with the exception of this area of 13-14 days. So I mean, that is very, very impressive compared to Ethereum's what is this, in this kind of high area, just trading here for about 8 days. So Ethereum, it has a lot less price history going up and as a result going down, which means that on the way back up, it could have a very, very explosive rally. And that's actually what I want you guys to keep your eyes on in the altcoin markets. I've been shitting on them a lot. I've been making fun out of them a lot because obviously most of them are shit coins. But I think that if this market is about to start becoming bullish again, once Bitcoin definitely has had its fun, once Bitcoin has had some of its rally upwards, maybe even during. I think that the altcoin market could really start popping off again in quite beautiful ways. And of course, the gains to be made in the altcoin markets are typically much higher than with Bitcoin. It's just that the risk is higher as well. So what I've been able to do with my way of analyzing these markets is I've actually been able to remove most of the risk. I've been able to remove most of the risk in the altcoin market by simply not participating it while the whole things were crashing. I actually sold my Ethereum up here, as you guys know now very, very well, because I won't bloody shut up about it. I'll keep on bragging about it till the day I die, because this is super impressive. Selling part or all of my Ethereum holdings that I mentioned to VIP members when Ethereum was trading all the way up here, and then I actually sold half of all my Ethereum right here as well. So definitely one of the most impressive trades I've made so far. Very, very happy with that. One of the most impressive investment moves I made. This wasn't a trade. And of course, VIPs, they get the updates on everything, my investments, my trades, whatever. It all goes inside of VIP. So if you're curious to get a little bit more information on that, then these steps are on screen for you to join. And of course, you can also set up a call with a member of our team to figure out if you would be a good fit for Full Flight VIP. We are now way above 1,300 members. Where are we? I think we passed 1,300 a little while back. Yeah, we're above 1,300 members, crossed 1,000 a few months ago. So there's a lot of people in here. And if you want to get in, then these are the steps on screen. You can pause the live stream and follow that. But taking it back to Ethereum, like I said, most of the risk has been removed. I'm ready to enjoy a little bit of the reward now. And I certainly think that they could be looking good. So I've got my eyes on Ethereum. I also think Cardano is beautiful. Technically, it's pretty terrible, but in terms of upward potential, I love it. Tron, again, I mean, these are just kind of classic shit coins now, but Tron also, I mean, trading at very long-term support against Bitcoin. I think it's got some great potential. I'm not necessarily interested in analyzing these coins against the dollar, although against the dollar they do look healthier. The reason that I don't want to analyze these coins like Cardano and Tron against the dollar is because if they would perform worse than Bitcoin, then I'm not interested in them. I would rather hold Bitcoin because each of these altcoins are much riskier than Bitcoin, so they've got to be performing much better than Bitcoin to be worth my time. That's basically the way I see it right here. But even on the dollar chart, this Cardano chart looking fairly good, basically finding a little bit of support right at these highs over here. So that is interesting, although we didn't respect these highs much before. We just kind of plunged right through them on multiple occasions. So it's not like this is a very important area of support for the market, but nonetheless, still good to see that we are holding this level. Let's take a look at Tron against the dollar as well. I'm sure that there is something interesting here as well. So yeah, it's just consolidating here. Formed an absolutely disgusting M-shaped pattern. This actually looks to me like it's about to break down again, but it depends on its fundamental scope and also, of course, what happens to Bitcoin. So that's kind of what I'm looking at with the altcoins. And I'm ready to go through your questions in just a minute, guys. So if you do have any questions for this live stream, then please do drop them in the comments. This one's going to be focused a little bit more on you guys, because I have actually finished the bulk of my analysis already. If you guys have any specific charts you want me to look at, any specific situations or problems, please do drop them in the comments so that I can go through whatever is on your mind, and then we can head over to a little bit more analysis in just a moment. I just checked Bitcoin shorts on TradingView and they are crazy high. Why is that? Well, let's take a look at Bitcoin USD shorts. Oh wow, okay, so they are really piling up. Definitely showing us that a lot of, so what this is a measure of is this is showing you basically how many people are trying to sell Bitcoin right now, how many individual short orders there are. So these are really spiked up, which is interesting. And basically, I think what this is showing us, this is huge actually. Thank you for pointing this out to me right here, is that a lot, oh god, okay, a little bit of a connection issue. Hope you're all with me still. What this is pointing out to me, seeing that there's a lot of shorts on this market right now, is that a lot of people are essentially in disbelief of this rally. A lot of people don't actually think that this rally is going to hold, that this rally is eventually going to come back down, which actually makes a lot of sense. If this market is in disbelief right now and people don't really believe it, that means that this might have actually been capitulation. People have actually given up. They don't really think that Bitcoin is going to be able to recover higher. And the fact that we're seeing that many shorts pile on right now, yeah, I think is very interesting. Yeah, a lot of shorts. Most of them actually coming in on the 9th of June. What happened on the 9th of June? Let's take a look at that. 9th of June was this day. So really a lot of people didn't believe in this. And this is the thing that, I think it's very important to talk about for just a minute. So it was on this rally up where a lot of people started betting that Bitcoin is going to actually fall down instead of continuing to rise up. But it's precisely over here that I didn't trade. I didn't make any trades, right? So a lot of people went short here. I'm sure that many of you guys listening went short here as well. And obviously they've lost a lot of money now. These are people who would have gone short on Bitcoin anywhere between anywhere between $33,000 and $38,000, right? And no matter how you look at it, if you went short between 33 and 38, you're in a loss right now, right? You would have temporarily been in a profit for only like 2 days. Literally only 2 days you would have been in a profit, even like only if you entered above $35,000, and then from there you'd be in a loss, and the loss is just going to keep on getting worse. Look, it looks like we're consolidating before we break a new high. This is really strengthening the argument for me that this is actually going to start looking a little bit more bullish, because a lot of people are in underwater longs right now, and we do have the possibility of a short squeeze, right? Liquidating the short. So I'll get to that in just a minute. If you don't already know what that is, don't worry, I'll cover that. Ladies and gents, if you are enjoying this live stream so far, by the way, please do smash up those likes. Thank you all very much for tuning in. This is a big sign that the market could be ready to pump up. So once again, thank you very much to the commenters who have been pointing that out in the comment section today in the live chat. That is definitely a big sign. And what's important to know is, you are underwater in your short positions right now. Even if you got the best possible entry right now, you're still in a 5% loss before leverage, right? You're in a 5% loss before leverage is even applied. So if you're using 5 times leverage, that's a 25% loss. If you're using 10 times leverage, that's a 54% loss. And that's your best case scenario. That's your best case scenario if you're in a short position right now. More realistically, perhaps, let's say a lot of people started entering their short positions around 36. In fact, let me just overlay the chart real quick, so I don't have to assume. I don't want to assume this. I just want to give you guys the facts. So hang on. I'm going to go over to this compare button on the top, and I'm going to type in shorts, and I'm just going to add this to the chart. And all I want to see is... Oh, this is confusing. Hang on. I'm going to add this again. I'm going to type in shorts, and I'm going to add this to a new price scale. And literally, I just want to look at exactly when on the hour these shorts really started to rise. Look at this. The majority of the shorts coming in probably on this candle. So between $34,000 and $36,000 is where we're seeing the majority of these shorts come in. Can we dive even deeper, perhaps to the 5-minute time frame? Because that would be useful. Okay, so unfortunately not. This isn't giving us the data. The average of this is $36,000, right? The average short entry price, where all these people started going short on the market, was $36,000. So if we actually measure that to our current price right now, these people, their best case scenario is shit. It's terrible. If we measure this up to the current price, they're now underwater by a factor of 12%. That's huge, right? And this is before, it's not possible to go short without leverage. If you're going short without leverage, that just means you're selling. And so these people who are entering short positions, even if they're using 3 times leverage, ladies and gents, even if they're using 3, this is so important. Even if they're using 3 times leverage with a 12% loss, right? Because if they've entered a short position over here and the price has risen by 12%, they're in a 12% loss before leverage. With 3 times leverage, that's a 36% profit. With 5 times leverage, that's a 60% profit. I'm sorry, loss. 60%. Did I get that number right? Yeah, 60. I don't know. Some of my math is wrong there, but it's somewhere around a 60% loss. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. There's a lot of people underwater here. Someone in the comments saying that these shorts are bots. I'm not so sure about that. I don't think that's true. But if you have any proof of that, then please let me know. I would love to take a look at the proof for that. But that's a lot of losses to be in. Whereas, if you haven't actually traded, you're not in a loss right now. You're not in a loss. You're sitting happy. You're calm, which means, and this is a big deal, right? Let me blow up my camera real quick because I need to make a big deal out of this. If you're not in a loss right now, that means you haven't lost any money. That's cool. It's always nice to not lose money. You're also calm. You're also calm. And right now, may I remind you, ladies and gents, that the market could be ready, could be on the brink of a massive breakout. So don't you think it would pay off quite well to be calm right now in this market? Of course it would. It's worth a lot right now in this market to be calm, but you wouldn't be if you're in an underwater short position because you were overzealous, you really wanted to trade, you were over trading, over analyzing, you were rushing into trades where you perhaps shouldn't have, and you got caught on a short position right there. This is exactly why I wasn't shorting the market at this time. A lot of people don't get this, and a lot of people are getting trigger happy here because they're seeing other people making money, and so they just want to rip trades because they think that's how they'll make money. I talk about this a lot on this YouTube channel. Those of you who are regular subscribers will know all about this, where if you're not trading, that in itself is a position. If you're not in a trade, right, it's completely fine to not be in a short position. You obviously would have had good reasons to right here, you obviously would have had good reasons to enter a short position around about over here, right? Like, I mean, there is resistance, whatever. I was unsure of it, though. I didn't think it was perfect, and by being extra picky, I've now saved myself from this potential loss. And what's very important is that, if you believe Bitcoin is going to rise back up to these all-time highs, but you're making stupid trades like going short over here and suffering a loss all the way up to here, you're going to have less Bitcoin when Bitcoin reaches the all-time high again, if it does, which means that you're literally going to be poorer, right? In July, if Bitcoin hits the all-time high in July, for example, you're going to be poorer next time over here than you were over here. This means if you literally did nothing, you would have made more money, which should hopefully make you feel extremely useless as a trader. And I think that's one of the first steps in realizing that you shouldn't be overtrading. A lot of people were overtrading in this market. A lot of people were a little bit too excited. They wanted to trade a lot. And don't worry, I will get to the concept of a short squeeze and why that pretty much seals the deal for why Bitcoin could be looking at pumping up if these shorts are real, if they're not bots. But I think that's very, very important. If you decided to trade in this range and you were taking up short positions, you would have actually been in a better position if you just didn't trade at all. And that's why, obviously I used to make these mistakes a lot. And that's why now I've got this approach of being way, way more picky with the trades that I make. I mean, I am really, really picking them very, very carefully. This means I'm not trading every day. I only trade perhaps once or twice a week, sometimes not even that much. And the reason for that is I only want to take on the best positions. That might seem counterintuitive. It might seem boring, or it might seem like it's a bad strategy. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to lose as much Bitcoin as the next guy. And in fact, during this whole market drop, I've only made more Bitcoin, which means that if Bitcoin goes back up to the all-time high again, I'm going to be much wealthier now than I was last time when Bitcoin was at $65,000. And there is real power, I think, if you believe in Bitcoin rising, to accumulate more Bitcoin and then just let Bitcoin earn you more dollars. It's such a good strategy, in my opinion. It's been working so well. And this is a classic example of how being a little bit more picky would have insulated a lot of people from suffering a lot of losses. So I think that's very, very important. I pick my trades very carefully, and if you do want to see how I'm trading, you want to get all the information about it, then once again, these are the steps on screen to join 4Fly's VIP, where I'm giving you all the information on every trade I'm making, from the consideration phase to where I've committed to the trade, to the updates when the trade is open, how I'm managing my profits, how I'm managing my losses, and so on. And I have actually shared information of my next trade, of the trade that I anticipate on opening next, inside of 4Fly's VIP, just I think last night or 2 nights ago. So that information is fresh inside of VIP. This is a trade that I had planned a long time ago, and I've just refreshed all VIP members on exactly what I'm planning on doing with that trade right there. So if you'd like to see how I'm trading this market, you want to get a little bit more information on what that whole package consists of, there's a lot of tutorials. If you don't even know what's going on, we have so many tutorials showing you exactly how I'm doing, what I'm doing, which buttons I'm pressing. We have our 4Fly's Academy course, which most VIP members are getting completely free of charge, depending on which plan they get. And that will teach you everything I know about trading from A to Z as well. So huge deals ready for you right here. A little bit of a discount available as well. So now is your time with that small discount that we have right now. Now is your time to get in if you would like to do that. And I will switch back to your questions. Actually, before I get there, I will also want to talk about the possibility of a short squeeze. So what happens with these shorts, ladies and gents, is that if there are a lot of shorts in the market, they might get squeezed in order to find liquidity. And what that means is that the market is going to be pumping higher, basically, and these short positions are going to start getting either stopped out or liquidated. And if they get stopped out or liquidated, that means that, well, how do you close a short position? You have to go long, right? If you're going short, the only way you close that position is by going long. We already know this, right? If you open a position on Bitcoin, which means if you buy Bitcoin, the only way you can close that position is if you sell the Bitcoin. And if you imagine that so many people have bought Bitcoin to the point where they're heavy in it, but they want to cut their loss at, say, minus 20%. That means a lot of people, if Bitcoin is crashing, it's going to hit minus 20%, which is their stop loss. A lot of people are just going to suddenly start selling their Bitcoin in order to close their long position, and it's going to crash down. And it's exactly the same in the opposite situation here. Now, if you don't know what going short or going long means and different things like that, don't worry about it. I've made a full video breaking down exactly these kind of concepts on this YouTube channel. The way you can find it is by clicking on my profile, pause the live stream here and follow these steps. This is much more important than the live stream if you don't know this already, so please do it right now if you don't know this. You're going to click on my profile, then you're going to go to my videos, and you're going to scroll all the way down until you find this video from 1 month ago, how to turn 1,000 into 1 million, and I break these concepts down completely free of charge for you. Now, this is content that's similar to what's inside of the Fourth Lies Academy, but obviously this is only 50 minutes of content compared to like over 10 hours. So if you want the real full deal, most VIP members already have that completely free of charge with their plans. You can gain access to it by following these steps on screen. But if you don't want to pay, or you don't, whatever, if there's any reason that you don't want it, this is free, and this is still a great video. It's one of the best videos I've ever made, so please do check it out now before I make this a paid product, because it shouldn't be free. It's way too valuable, so please do check it out. And in order to close a short position, you need to go long, which means that you would start sending the market trading higher, and that's exactly what could actually typically a lot of the time send the market massively rocketing higher, and that would obviously be very exciting. Let me head over to your questions once again to see if there's anything else you guys are saying in the comments, any other questions for me to cover. And once again, if you do have any more questions that I haven't covered yet, you can also drop them in the comments. Thank you all very much for hitting the like button, by the way. I really do appreciate your support. We're so close to 98,000 subscribers as well, so if you're enjoying this content, you find it useful, you want to make sure that you don't miss it, then subscribing will help you guarantee that you don't miss it. I love your stuff. Always looking forward to your daily videos. Do I think the price will crash after the short squeeze and liquidating the shorts? So Kanal is asking me that if we get a short squeeze and we pump up massively, do I think we're going to crash right back down a little bit like this? I definitely don't think that's the case. I see Bitcoin has corrected very nicely, and I would be surprised if Bitcoin managed to break out into the 42k range, and then if it fell back down. We certainly might pump up to a level like 50 and then fall back down to 42 just to find support. But I wouldn't expect, and so it looks like this, but I wouldn't expect that instead we were just going to fall right through that floor and fall even lower. I think that if Bitcoin pumps above this level now, it's probably going to stay above this level for, maybe a year or even a few years. I think that it definitely would be, very bullish for the market, and I would be quite surprised if we managed to rise up this high and we got another crash. We've already crashed down by more than 50%. We've already been in this bear market for multiple months. It's been quite a big one, and you guys already know my opinion. It's remained unchanged this whole time. I've been saying, even though short term this market was terribly bearish, long term I was expecting us to set new all-time highs. So it could just be that we're getting ready to do that again. And that just means this is a little bit of a setback inside of a much wider bull market, which is exactly what I think we're in. I've never changed my opinion on that. I've been very vocal about that. For those of you who do tune into these videos, you would have known that very well. And so no, I don't actually think that we could be looking at a crash, but good question. Thank you very much. Why would it matter if humans versus bots made the trades? Surely a trade is a trade. Emil, not necessarily, because the only thing that's misleading about these shorts right here is that, and someone correct me if I'm wrong, but this, to my knowledge, this is what's happening, and I'm pretty sure this is correct. There's 24,400 shorts right here. This means individual short positions. So that means, each position could be worth $1, and there's only $24K going short for Bitcoin right now. So that's actually not much. It could mean that the average short size is $100,000 or $1 million. And in that case, this number starts becoming a lot more impressive, basically showing us that a lot of money wants to go short on Bitcoin. But for now, if it's bots, these could all be $1 orders, so they're not actually very significant, and the market is tricking us. It could be, I don't know, and that's why I'm still not in a trade. This is still a risky range in my opinion. Most people trading in this range are losing money, right? That's very important. Most people trading in this range are losing money. The trade that I've shared inside of VIP, it's targeting very impressive profit numbers, and obviously I'm quite confident in it. I think that it's low risk. I've been purposely waiting to trade something safer in this market, and I'm very confident that that's going to pay off. I just want to get the numbers real quick so I can tell you guys exactly how much profit I am targeting. Doesn't mean I'm going to actually hit these numbers, but obviously I'm looking to, I'm hoping to. So let me just pull up that data right here, because I'm curious to see what that looks like, because I have forgotten, but unfortunately I can't find the post, so I'm going to have to skip that. Let me just, oh, here it is. Okay, got it. Yeah, so I'm targeting 25% and then 50% profit easily. That should be fairly easy, and then I think it can also hit 75% profit fairly easily as well. So that's already inside of VIP, and yeah, that's already inside of VIP. I'm just going to make sure that we repost it again so it's extra clear inside of VIP right there. So yeah, hopefully that helps with your humans versus bots answer. You know, I'm only looking to trade something safer, and that's why I'm not really even considering that kind of question. Being pickier with trades is good. It absolutely is. This is a common theme that we've seen with VIP members. I got to show you this testimonial again. This person mentioning that he's gone from trading by hoping to observing and evaluating, right? Going from this kind of perspective to this one, observing and evaluating, is so valuable. And it pays well. It works. It really does work. So that's something I can definitely vouch for with a lot of confidence. Let's see if we have any other questions inside of the comments today. Once again, ladies and gents, if you are looking for a platform to trade, then the one that I'm using, what I consider to be the safest, easiest one, is Bybit. To my knowledge, they've never been hacked. Other exchanges like Binance have been hacked multiple times, and these guys haven't. They're also pretty big. I've been with them for years, absolutely love them. There's a link for you to sign up to them down in the description down below, where you're also going to get a sign-up bonus, and depending on how much you're trading with, how much you deposit, you stand to get up to $2,600 in bonuses and things like that. So huge offer available to you all for this month. The link in the description is going to take you to that Bybit sign-up page. You can get into this same exchange that I'm using right here. They also offer trading Bitcoin and Ethereum with no funding fees, which is huge, because funding fees are typically the biggest fees. You can trade them for nothing in terms of funding fees, so very impressive. If you do want to get on, the link is down below. They don't even require KYC to get started, and there is a tutorial in the description down below. If you're in the United States or anything like that, you will need a VPN. Of course, I can't endorse that. I'm just going to leave this information on screen for those of you who want to join VIP while I go through the next questions. Tonevase says, if we enter the death cross at $42,000, it will be a great shorting opportunity. Your thoughts on the upcoming death cross in 3 days, and Tone's take on it. Yeah, my thoughts. I don't really care about the death cross too much. If he does, that's definitely interesting, but I'm not too worried about it. The issue with the death cross is it fires really late, and this is quite a fast moving market, so anything that's late is inherently quite weak in my opinion. Josh, you appreciate the hair? Hell yeah. Thank you very much. Oh, Derek, you appreciate the content, but not my hair. That's so mean. That's funny. Let's see what else we had in this comment section. Any other questions for me to answer? When I say I sold my ETH, do I mean that I shorted, or do I mean that I literally sold? I literally sold my Ethereum. Yeah, I didn't go short, I literally sold it. It would be much more impressive if I shorted, but I didn't. Let's see what else we have here. Head and shoulders on the weekly. I don't know about that. I don't really want to check that. Can you check the weekly RSI? No, I don't like the RSI. What do I think of Nice Hash? Isn't Nice Hash has been around for a while. It's been a while since I heard that name. That's interesting. I don't have any real thoughts on it. I'm not particularly interested in mining. Yeah, it looks like those are most of the questions that have tagged me. Guys, unfortunately, I'm going to have to make this one relatively short. I'm probably going to call it a stream there. If we do have any final questions, I'll take them now. Please do make sure to smash up those likes once again if you have found this video useful so far. I am probably, yeah, I am going to call this a stream right here. I do need to get going. I actually, to be honest with you guys, feel terrible right now. I woke up feeling sick, and I still feel sick. Just like a stomach bug. But the hair is not terrible. Thank you very much. It's a spectacular hair. I'm gonna dye it blue, just like this shirt. It's gonna be amazing. Derek saying, just kidding, I'm bald. See, a lot of you guys hating. You're probably just bald. I don't believe it. But yeah, I am gonna call it a stream here, and take it easy for the rest of the night. Hope you all have enjoyed this one. Do make sure to hit up the likes, subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff. And I'll see you all in the next stream. Alright, take it easy. Bye-bye.